Big pharma corruption, world war, and woke propaganda. There's no shortage of insanity to expose this week. Just when you thought society couldn't sink any lower, here comes the latest in clown world. The Royal British Legion Pride Poppy Badge. Take a good look right here and tell me what you see. Blatant disrespect, folks. This is being sold on Amazon. A slap in the face to every soldier who laid down their life in those wars. They're probably rolling in their graves wondering if this is what they fought for. Fighting the bloodiest battles in history so we can have drag queen story time. Thank you for your service, gentlemen. We have officially crossed the point of no return. There's no coming back from this madness right here. They asked how many genders there are to these college students here, and well, check this out. Notice anything here?
How many genders are there?
It's a spectrum, so like a lot.
Can you name me a few?
You can be man, female, you could be, there's so many. A demi-girl, a demi-boy.
This is a stupid question.
How many are there?
I don't want to participate anymore.
I think there's really an answer to that, given that
Oh, here we go.
gender is kind of a social construct, so it's different for every person and also in different cultures.
Keep your kids out of college.
As many as you want to believe.
Can you name me like a few?
Oh my god.
So there's a whole spectrum of them. Obviously,
there are many. There's a lot, so.
Name me a few.
There is male, female, genderqueer, non-binary.
Oh my god.
Obviously, the whole trans community is counted as a.
Oh wow, I don't know. There's a lot. I know there's like.
Name me them.
I know there's 6.
Isn't that funny? The only one that made sense there was the attractive white girl. Everybody else is a deranged lunatic. Look, I've been saying this for a while, people. This is just a battle between good-looking and unattractive people. That's all this is. Antifa, BLM, all these leftist, Marxist, communists. They're just angry at their lives because they're ugly. That's all it is. We got kids identifying as bisexual koala bears out here, okay? Can we please bring back bullying? Matter of fact, let's show some gratitude here for everyone that was born before 1995. And this video was hilarious, I must say. So someone is happy, a fox self is their pronouns, and they're dancing because their dad finally used their pronouns. Look at this. Oh my God.
Hey, Dad.
Yeah.
Thanks for beating me as a child.
No problem, son.
Oh, I'm gonna keep it real. That nose ring right there lets me know you haven't been beaten enough. Clown world continues, folks. And speaking of things that make absolutely no sense, let's talk about Eminem. We all know Eminem, right? You know, the self-hating little bitch who once said he hated being white so much he wanted to kill himself. He said it was embarrassing being white. Well, that same Eminem is now on stage introducing Barack Obama at a Kamala Harris rally. Because, well, of course he is. Let's take a look at what Eminem had to say on that stage. And I do apologize because this is going to make your IQ points go in the negatives.
That people shouldn't be afraid to express their opinions.
Oh.
And I don't think anyone wants an America where people are worried about retribution or what people will do if you make your opinion known.
Unbelievable.
I think Vice President Harris supports a future for this country where these freedoms and many others will be protected and upheld.
Good Lord. So clueless.
And here to tell you much more about that, President Barack Obama.
Okay, people, it's safe to say Eminem is definitely bozo of the week. He got the nerve to say this. He said, in America, where people are worried about retribution of what people will do if you make your opinion known. He then carried on to say Vice President Harris supports a future for this country where these freedoms and many others will be protected and upheld. That's right, the real Slim Shady finally stood up and started supporting the same bitch that said this.
And direct law enforcement to counter this extremism. We will hold social media platforms accountable for the hate infiltrating their platforms because they have a responsibility to help fight against this threat to our democracy. And if you profit off of hate, If you act as a megaphone for misinformation or cyber warfare, if you don't police your platforms, we are going to hold you accountable.
It's almost like she was talking directly to Eminem, okay? Kamala is all for censoring the so-called misinformation, holding social media companies accountable if they allow content on there that she disagrees with. Yeah, nothing screams freedom like suppressing free speech. And Eminem's dumbass is endorsing Commie Kamala, the very person who will censor anything her party labels as hate speech, which at this rate includes just about everything. Eminem, the same guy whose latest album was filled with dark humor, jokes about trans people, making fun of gay, homosexual, and trans people, which I admit was pretty hilarious. But which political party is most likely to censor him for jokes like that? Is he really that oblivious? Isn't it funny how all these Rage Against the Machine types are now suddenly raging for the machine? He's supporting candidates that are completely against freedom of speech, against bodily autonomy, and will force inject you with poison and lock you down in your house over something that doesn't exist. I mean, what kind of dirt do they have on Eminem to get him on that stage saying that wacky-ish? Something from a P. Diddy party, maybe. Maybe he was caught in one of those freak-offs, I don't know. But they clearly have some dirt on the man, okay? Because we all know how those go. The Epstein client list is long, and P. Diddy's client list is longer. And let's not forget, this is the same man who dressed up in drag, dressed up like Britney Spears. I mean, he had makeup on, a dress on, and everything. Now he's pushing the libtard agenda like he's auditioning for an SNL skit. But hey, when you're worth hundreds of millions of dollars, does it even matter who wins? It's a selection anyway, and Eminem is definitely a part of the satanic cabal. Don't get it twisted. The man has been promoting satanic imagery for decades. He's in his gated mansion laughing at the rest of us. It does not matter who wins since it's a political clown show anyway. Then, as if it couldn't get any more cringe, Eminem hands over the mic to Obama, who hops on stage and starts rapping Eminem lyrics. I mean, absolute cringe fest. Fun fact, Eminem is now writing a new cooking book, actually. Here's the book. You can read the title yourself. That's right. Big shout out to Eminem for that one. Didn't know he was a big cook. And just when you thought it was over, Obama hits us with this gem right here. He says, I don't know how we became so toxic and divided as a country. Oh, I don't know, Barack. Maybe it has something to do with all that BLM race-baiting propaganda you pushed during your presidency. This man single-handedly brought back race relations a few generations. All by design, of course. It's almost like he was there to set things up, okay? To build up this upcoming civil war, maybe. This says it well right here, a man that goes by the name of Teach 'em Chuck. Says this.
People were outwardly racist while Trump was in office. He gave them white people.
Like who?
He made it comfortable for people to be outwardly racist about how they fit. Chuck,
no, he didn't.
The climate was a lot different.
Studies came out about the racial divide trending in the wrong direction in 2013 when Barack Obama was entering his second term when the Black Lives Matter movement jumped off. Let's not make it seem like Donald Trump led to this big increase in the racial schism in this country. That happened under Barack Obama. Since we want to go there, since we want to go there.
But did it happen?
Since we want to go, it happened. Yes, it did happen. Yeah. We talk about one-way aggression. You allowed to be openly racist towards one particular group of people, and it's white people. Let's call a spade a spade.
White dudes are pussies.
White men are the issue.
White men are the biggest threat to America. They are.
You got analysts on MSNBC, CNN openly referring to Donald Trump and his voters as Nazis. Nowhere in popular media do you see white people saying the kinds of things that you see people saying about white people on national television, from Joy Reid, Trevor Noah, Don Lemon, over and over again.
But Chuck,
you don't see that anywhere else.
Just because you can't get on mainstream media and make light of other races doesn't mean that the racial climate is still not what it is.
The reason why the racial climate is what it is because that's what critical race theory seeks to do. It seeks to polarize for the purpose of finding people who are sympathetic to your cause. And you keep on dividing one group onto itself until you create a group of disenchanted, angry, dysfunctional people that you can then use for the purpose of your liberation. That's not my words. Those are the words of Herbert Marcuse himself.
That was very well said. And can anyone label that group that's causing all this division here? What is the purpose of this? Look, I'm not on either side of the political spectrum, but it just takes a special kind of son of a bitch to support any leftists, okay? I don't support either one because it's too easy to have these politicians compromise. It takes a special kind of retard, though, to support the Democrats or any liberal agenda for that matter. I mean, what did Malcolm X have to say about Libby's? I mean, say what you want about the man, but he was damn accurate when describing the slimy snake-like nature of Libby's and the Democrats. Let's check this out, what Malcolm X had to say.
There are many whites who are trying to solve the problem, but you never see them going under the label of liberals. That white person that you see calling himself a liberal is the most dangerous thing in the entire Western Hemisphere. He's the most deceitful. He's like a fox, and a fox is always more dangerous in the forest than the wolf. You can see the wolf coming. You know what he's up to, but the fox will fool you. He comes at you with his mouth shaped in such a way that even though you see his teeth, you think he's smiling, and you take him for a friend.
I mean, we gotta say that was absolutely correct, but the political clown show carries on. Looks like the states are about a few weeks away from a full-blown civil war. I'm half kidding, okay? You never know. The politics continues. Here in BC, we had a provincial election. If people in the states want to know what their elections will look like, well, you got a forewarning here in BC. Now, the Liberals and the NDP over here have been destroying Canada and every province for some time now. They are pro-drug, pro-abortion, pro-degeneracy, and pro-societal collapse, actually. Like total Mad Max shit. They've had our streets looking like a liberal utopia for decades. I mean, take a look at this street right here, East Hastings. This is what you call an NDP paradise. So many people went out there to vote these bastards out of office, and, well, the election was neck and neck. So close that they refused to call it. They said they needed a recount. So they've been recounting for days now. And get this, Odessa Orlowicz posted this right here. Starting Saturday, Election BC will be counting 65,000 mail-in ballots, up from earlier estimate of 49,000 ballots. Isn't that just so convenient that they find like 16,000 ballots out of nowhere? And take a good guess what those votes are going to be for. Just letting the people know in the States that some serious times are ahead, okay? Trudeau is facing some troubles here, actually. MPs in his own cabinet want him to resign, and they had a 4-hour meeting to discuss the future of the Liberal Party. Now, many people in the meeting said Trudeau started it with a 20-minute emotional speech where he cried like a little bitch, saying how difficult this has been on his family. The toll being a demonic dictator has taken on his life, he says. And then he left the meeting looking like this, bopping back and forth like a Conor McGregor type, smiling like he just got his cabinet penetrated by Klaus Schwab again, saying the Liberal Party is strong and united. Doing his best impersonation of a man right here, acting like he didn't just break down and cry like a little bitch just before this. But the propaganda here is hilarious, I must say. CTV News propaganda arm of the Liberal Party posts this. A recent poll shows that the majority of Canadians would vote for Kamala Harris in US election. Always keep in mind these polls are total nonsense. I mean, these demons lie about basically everything, so you can't take anything they say serious.